Wow. Hello and welcome guys to a new cutting session with Joshua from Agatebay. I founded the company a couple years ago and I rarely get to cut my own agates. So actually the last time that I was physically here was probably when you saw my last videos that I published on my YouTube channel, but things have gotten so busy in my company that there's just not so much time for me to focus on cutting the stones anymore. So I saved some special material, and these are the pink agates from the Kerrouchen location in the Middle Atlas Mountains of Morocco. And these agates are actually extremely rare in this colorization. Almost all of the material that is found there is in more of a reddish exterior banding material. They look very promising and I hope they're going to turn out nice as well, so stay tuned for what we're cutting. The first agate is a pretty easy decision to make since it has this large natural broken window. Which already shows me it has some nice banding. I think I can even spot a little bit of parallax and some multi-floater level bandings. I see a float channel here as well, but since it's already broken almost in half the nodule, it will be an easy cutting decision. And I just want to cut it somewhat parallel to the window here. You can see there's a little one here that I will just stay right behind because the volume is open up a little more to the right side. So I'll probably just cut an about 1.5 inch slice once across the entire piece, like this here. Oh, wow. Yeah, I hit the first piece exactly the way I wanted and it is just fabulous. These kind of colors are so unique and I've only seen them so far at this location ever. It's such a specific color that I don't see anywhere else appearing, and it's got so many cool details like these little stalactites here that are like in the quartz here in both halves. Multiple floater layer, beautiful colors, even see some stalactites here pushing down from the top and a single one up here as well. Some parallax here in this section as well and probably around the entire stone. The parallax will come out a little bit better once it's polished. The only thing that I don't like is that it has like a small little fracture going in here, but it's really just maybe 1 centimeter in size, so it's nothing too bad, and I think it's really a spectacular piece. So I'm very happy with the first cut. This is a fabulous looking piece with the eyes that are up top here. I think these were also little stalactites that came from the top area of the nodule, but I think they won't penetrate really deep into the stone. But there's no way I can cut off the top because it's broken all the way around here. So I have to cut somewhere here at the bottom, and I see that there's a big fracturing line running once across the entire piece like this. So I cannot cut it the way I want to, because usually I would prefer to cut it this way, but then I'm hitting exactly the fracturing line. So I have to cut it below this fracturing line. So I think it will be a very nice piece, color-wise, an interesting piece, structure-wise, but I think it will just be full of fractures. Okay. Oh, interessant. I hit the piece exactly the way I wanted, and it is not fracture free, which I thought it wouldn't be. And right now you can also not see the fractures so well because the entire agate is soaked with oil and the oil will penetrate into the fractures, so they're less visible. But it's still such an interesting piece because up top here you can see these rectangular formations, which are probably the remains of pseudomorph structures. And I've seen pseudomorph agates from this location before. And usually they're not like fully intact anymore, but like they're somewhat disposed. But also here in this section you can see that the pseudomorph, like the exterior of the original crystal shape, has shifted a little bit, because you can see originally it would be in this angle, but it kind of popped over and has been put together in a different position again. agates are just so wild to think about how these have formed at all. It's just so crazy to think about, because I mean the pseudomorph structure has to have been there prior to the agate, and then at a later time the agate filled into the cavity, while in the beginning there was just the pseudomorph up top here, and then the shell of the pseudomorph was then later pushed around here by the agate and put back together. Just so crazy. I mean, this all has to have been in somewhat of a liquid state during the process of formation. I can see that there's a fracturing line running across here, so I will avoid that by cutting right next to it over here, and then over to the slim part of the nodule over here just above the windows, and then coming back out here just above the fracturing line right here. Here you can see the fracturing line, so I'm staying right next to there, and over here you can see the window area where I'm also just staying left to it, and this way hope to get the best out of it. Oh, okay. Yeah, the third piece also turned out surprisingly nice, and here you can follow up with the fracturing line, and it's inside here. Very slightly visible, so not too bad. You can see this is where the fracturing line is going through. It's really not too bad, and it's got some beautiful flow channels and like tornado flow channels penetrating in like different areas, but the overall design is really nice, and I think it's a pretty good piece. And here you can also see it has some black crystalline inclusions, so when this is like really nicely photographed with our photo setup, I think there will be some gorgeous details in that area. The fourth piece has a quite odd shape, so you can see it's like bottom is flat and then it's like opening up again here in the center, giving it a little bit more thickness right there, and then getting really slim again at the top. And at the top you can also see this beautiful window where you can see it's got these fine eyes or spherulites coming from the exterior and making all these half circles. And I think that will look really nice inside, so I hope it keeps this feature, and I will cut it for a symmetrical face once around this beautiful thick bump in the middle of this piece, so just around here. Okay. Wow, that's a great parallax. I'm very happy that the piece kept these eyes inside of it, and it shows some fabulous parallax all around the entire piece in different angles when I'm holding it. Such a fantastic piece. So this is actually a different type. This is not of this kind of pink salmon colored agate, but just some beautiful pure white parallax with these spherulites in the rim area. Still a beautiful, beautiful specimen, although it doesn't show this super saturated, nice salmon color. But we have two more to cut, and the other two also show this salmon color, which is very rare from the location, and I'm excited for the other ones. I can see there's some more stalactites coming from the top here in this window, so if I cut it this way then they will be eyes. So I am very curious about this cut. Oh, okay. Different. Wow. The piece turned out very different from what I thought, so it does not have the multi-chambers I was thinking it may have. There's like only a little bit of a fragment in this clear, clean line that I can see. Other than that, it did not keep any of the structural things I saw from the outside. But what a spectacular piece. Like, it's got so many fantastic details, like the bubbles I can see here, the red platelets in this kind of purple colored agate. Every section I look in the agate, I can see eyes or all different sorts of fantastic details. So this is really just a perfect specimen for detail photography. In this case, I will cut a very slim section up top here, like maybe less than 1 inch in size, and then have like one small half and one really thick half. But that way I can probably catch most of this beautiful eye banding, which is at the top of this nodule. Oh nein. No. Looks so fabulous from the outside and it changed so quickly. Like this, it is an absolutely terrible agate. And I'm sorry to say that, but despite the little parallax it has on that side, I just don't think it's that pretty. Yeah, so I'll put that to the side, but I'm not giving up on this agate yet, because I can see there's like some sort of inclusion that penetrates from the bottom of the piece. So I'll just cut it again and see what this kind of weird thing in the middle is. And probably just place the cut maybe a centimeter further back, and if I don't like it, I can just continue to cut the bread into slices and eat them for dinner. Okay. Yeah, with the recut I turned a pretty ugly piece into a pretty nice piece. Look at that! It's got the same pseudomorph structure like we've seen in previous pieces, and I believe this piece right here came off the connection in between these two lines and just floated in space across 1.5 inches to the left and here 1.5 inches to the right, and the parallax forming around this piece and in the rim area. I think now it is a really beautiful agate, and apparently I just made the completely wrong decision in the beginning, trying to cut for the eyes at the top after I already had seen that it may be having the quartz. But on the other hand, I mean, we couldn't know that it had the pseudomorph inside, and it could also just be filled with quartz in the center right now. So you're always smarter after the cutting of the agates, and beforehand you just don't know most of the times. What a beautiful batch of pieces I have here with me, and what a rare opportunity as well. There's so little of these pieces found, and I am happy that almost all of them turned out really nice. It's hard for me to pick a favorite, and I think especially after recutting the last one, it turned out a lot better than I initially thought it would turn out after the first cut I placed. But all of these pieces are really beautiful. I love the parallax and spherulites in this piece. I love the floater and small details with the stalactites in this one, the pseudomorph sections in this one with the sharp angles. This is just such a beautiful piece with so many details, and overall I am very happy with this lot. And yeah, there's just very little found of these. So I hope you learned something from the video. I hope you enjoyed looking at these beautiful pieces, and if you did, make sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more rare cutting content of agates. And I hope putting out this knowledge on how I cut these pieces benefits you in your own ways. And I still want to give this piece some purpose, so if you do like this piece and want to do something with it, just let me know in an email. So write an email to me, and if you buy any of the other pieces from this week's update, then you will find this agate for free in your parcel as well. Just let me know if you would like to get it, and it can be yours. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.